My father's been gone for almost 70 years. Most of your fathers are gone as well. But I wonder if they were still alive and you could ring them up on the telephone this morning, what you'd say to them. I want to take just a moment to listen to many of you. Nick has one mic. I've got another mic. We want to pass the mic around to you. All you have to do is raise your hand. But I want you to respond to this question. If you could call your father today, what would you say to him? It might be words of gracious thanks. They might be words of anger or woundedness. Here's what I'd say if I could call my father. Dad, thanks for introducing Jesus to our family. All right, we're going to open it up. Different ones of you. Here's Karen goes first.
I'd say to my dad, first of all, that I loved him. And I would also thank him immensely for giving me such a kind and wonderful, gracious mother.
Someone else.
I miss the good times we had in your workshop.
Mm-hmm.
My dad died of cancer, but our pastor came by to see him the day he died, and he asked, did he have any concerns? And his answer was, only for my family. Daddy was a wonderful family man, and I miss you to this day, Daddy.
Paula, you're next.
I'd say, Dad, you were right about a lot of things.
Something we didn't say when we were 18, did we? Someone else.
I had the best father of ever. He was a great example. In fact, I think I love God more because of his example. Because sometimes we get an idea of how God is, how our father was, and he was a blessed man.
Thank you, Jeannie. Someone else. Yes, Martha.
Thank you, Dad, for showing your love, not saying it. All through childhood, I wondered why Dad never said, I love you. But he built things and built things and built things for us. And then when I asked Mom, she'd say, can't you see he loves you by the wonderful things he's done for you?
Robin, and then Eleanor.
I would say that thank you for being a hard worker, always providing, because we went through the Depression when it was very tough.
Well, we'll give you a chance to try, and just know we're pitching for you.
I think my dad was the most religious man I ever saw or heard. He always talked to us about the Lord, day and night almost. He believed wholeheartedly in you. From the time I was born till he died. He preached you day and night, almost all the time he was at home when he wasn't working. We heard of you, Lord.
Eleanor, you did just great. Someone else. Jim?
I would say thank you, Dad, for listening. He died about 12 hours after he accepted Christ.
I'm going to go to Carolyn, who is new here to Glencroft, been here for about a month now, and then to Tony next. Okay. Carolyn?
My father was always there, and I used to play marimba and go out all over the county performing for different groups, and there he was, putting it up, taking it down, driving me everywhere. Good dad.
That's great.
I listen to you people all raving about your dads and the love they gave to you and the love you gave to them. And I can say I miss all that because I never had a dad to love. My dad left me. And I had a mother, but my mother I could never love. So my parents, I thank God that I am the way I am today because My parents had nothing to do with it, believe me.
Do you want to say anything? Betty's going to say something back here.
I would say, hi, Dad. I love you.
Betty, you are one special lady in this church family. Thank you. Someone else. We're not going to linger long over there, and then we'll bring it to Tim, and then one more after Tim.
I had a very wonderful dad, but what I really liked about him was he was so caring for Mother. He just, whatever her need was, he was right there to stand with her and help her. And as far as I can recall, he was always a Sunday school teacher, and he was teaching the young man, the teenagers, I think. And I really loved my dad and my mom both. Thank you.
Tim, and then one more, and I think there's one more on that side.
Well, I think I'd say, Dad, what's it like up there? Miss you. And I appreciate that you were a good enough man to admit that you weren't perfect and to teach me to not only learn the things you did right, but also learn the things you did wrong and what not to do. Thanks, Dad.
If I had a chance to talk, I'd say, Dad, I love you and we miss you, but I wish he could be with us for a day. He was a farmer, and one of his favorite things to do was to have Gil and I take him and Mother, and we'd drive out around Gilbert and Queen Creek, look at the farmland, and if he could come and see the change in this valley.
All right, I said that was the last one. Have one more, and this is absolutely the last one.
I'm probably in the minority here. I'm here with my dad. So I would say I love you, Dad, and thank you for taking care of our mom. My mom, I mean.
Thank you. All right, Bob, you're on.
Well, I was going to say something about my father. People who, well, some of you know me. I'm obsessive compulsive disorder, I guess. Everything has to be very much in order. The paper clips all have to lay in a certain way. My older sister and I, when we go to McDonald's, we put our French fries in order from longest to the shortest. We learned that from our dad, who was quiet and very concerned about doing things right. I've said many times I wish that he had been around later in my marriage. He died, we'd only been 3 years married, just when I needed him. I had all the tough questions, and he had all the answers, but that's the way it is. Anyhow, Dad was a good guy.